As you guys may have already heard, that MonsterVerse is right around the corner, and I wanted to go ahead and talk about it. Welcome back, everyone. If you have been keeping up with the MonsterVerse tea, you guys would probably already know that MonsterVerse will be released sometime this month. I don't exactly know the day, but it will be released this October. And obviously, I've been hearing some things about it, seeing the official game trailer for it, of it basically explaining everything that's going on and what will be in MonsterVerse. And I'm excited. It's a new role-playing game, basically similar to Royal High, but with a monster twist. And when I say similar, not similar in a bad way, but similar in a really good way, but not the same. Both games are completely different, and I'll try to refrain from comparing the two. I don't want to bring hate to the Royal High developers or the MonsterVerse developers either, because each developer worked really hard on each of their games. And let me just put that out there, that I will still be playing Royal High, but I also want to check out MonsterVerse and see what that's all about as well. It does remind me a little bit of Monster High. I think that's kind of their inspiration, similar to how Royal High's inspiration was Ever After High. Those are two completely different shows, one with ghouls and monsters and one with like pretty princesses and princes. Different aesthetics and everything like that. So I'm basically going to be talking about my thoughts and opinions on the gameplay trailer of MonsterVerse that was released a couple of days ago. And I want to talk about my first impressions. First and foremost, I am ecstatic. I was very pleasantly surprised about a lot of what was shown and introduced to us. I had my expectations at a neutral. Like, I didn't want to have too much expectations for this game, just in case if I'd be sadly disappointed. But even after seeing the promo photo shoots of the different sets in the game and what's basically going to be in it, it got me hyped. It's got me excited. I'm not even gonna lie. And it's definitely a game that I want to go ahead and check out. Let me know down below if you guys want me to do a gameplay of my first impressions of when it becomes released. But I know it's a lot different from my usual aesthetic, but I definitely want to give it a try and see what it's all about. Moving on to the actual trailer video, we are introduced to Skella, which is basically our guide in this world, taking us through the school and getting us used to different mechanics and such. She basically tells us and explains to us where we are, and basically letting us know that we had a funeral, which I'm already loving the story of this already, and basically saying we need to get you all dressed up because whatever you're wearing just ain't it. So she takes us to the basically create a ghoul, which we basically get to dress up and customize our ghoul to how we like, which opens up to basically showing us multiple different tabs: body, hair, face, clothing, and outfits. In body, we basically get to pick our own body type, whether we want it to be slim or plus size, which I really like to see the diversity, which really piqued my interest personally, that we get to have that kind of customization. I just thought that was really cool. Obviously femme or masculine. And in body, we get to also choose what kind of occult we want to be, whether like a robot, alien, vampire, werewolf, whatever your heart desires. You get to pick whatever monster part or mix-max monster parts if you want. Then we're introduced to the hairs, which is basically all the hairstyles in the game, which, let me just say, the hairstyles that I've already seen look very diverse in the sense that there's a lot of different textures. There's a lot of options to choose from. So you don't have to stick with one specific type of hairstyle or one specific type of hair pattern, which I really like as well. Then your face, which is kind of similar, or it works kind of similar to Dress to Impress, where you get to have custom pre-made faces, or you can basically make up your own face and save that customized face if you want to. Then in clothing, it shows us 3 different types of clothes. We have the baby doll dress, the ruffled romper, and the present dress, which all look really cute and stylish. I don't know if these will already be outfits or dresses by default when we join the game. Like, we're just not going to start off with absolutely nothing. I also want to put in here before I forget that somewhere along the grapevine, I heard that for the first couple of hours after its release, there's going to be a free set that you can go ahead and collect. So that'll be pretty interesting. I don't know how true or not that is, or what the set looks like. I forgot. They have released a bunch of different sets throughout the time of its development. So I don't know which one is going to be the free one that we get or the one that we have to pay for, but I don't know if these 3 specific outfits are gonna be outfits that we have in the game or they're just going to be different, you know? And then the last one is basically outfits where you basically get to save your outfits and stuff like that. Moving on to the tour of the school, which let me just say, it looks magical, it looks grand, it looks like it holds a bunch of secrets. I like how it's very like bright and colorful with the butterflies and different colors like that. Very bright pastel purples and colors like that, but it still has a very dark and eerie vibe to it. I also want to take a moment to say I really do love the statue. I don't know what it is. I think it's a culmination of different monsters, but I'm not exactly sure what the statue looks like in full. So whenever the game officially releases, I want to see that. But I do have to say, just by looking at it, I also heard that this school also has like ramps and stuff like that, which also has inclusivity as well, with different people needing to use wheelchairs to get up from A to B. And it's just nice to see in the game, even if it's not really technically usable. It's nice to actually see in the game. But I love the vibe that it's giving. It looks very surreal. I was kind of afraid initially that it was just going to be all doom and gloom, but apparently that's not the case. It definitely has a lot of pretty colors, and it does has like a bright, inviting feel to it. And when this game releases, like this will be officially released, like this is no beta or alpha, like this is going to be the official release of this game, so everybody can play it. She goes into basically showing us every bits and pieces of the school, which is the nurse's office, the dorms, like the study area, the kitchen, and the whole entire aspects of the school. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more that we have to see as well. That school is huge. Like, I know that what she showed us in the trailer is not all that we can expect. I know there's some classes. I don't know what kind of classes we're gonna have, but there's definitely gonna be some classes. And I just love the overall vibes, especially the coffin shaped lockers. Now back to what I said about her showing us the kitchen, which let me just say, all of the delicious treats look really, really good. I love even the stationary items that are just sitting on the counter for decoration, and the open fridge with all the different fruits and stuff like that, like chef's kiss. She also goes into the whole baking mechanic. Now I'm not sure if that's going to be an actual class that we can take in the school, or it's just something that we can do on the side to make different snacks and stuff like that. I'm assuming it's going to be like a class, I think. But I also love the animation for the cooking and the basically the stirring the pots and the cutting the vegetables and everything. It looks really intuitive, but I don't know if that's how it's actually going to be in the game, so we'll see. Then we move on to Hauntley Wood, which is obviously like Hollywood, but no copyright here, which basically is like a whole night out city. You got the pools, you got like party. It's a very aesthetic looking vibe that I really like. It kind of reminds me of Hotel Transylvania when they went on the boat, like cruise boat, and that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from it. So there's like a whole fashion show, disco, parties, like it's very glamorous. Okay, it's just for like a fun little night out, which I like to see. And then we move on to basically the PvP in the game, showing us our weapon, which is like a cool red scythe. And obviously there's going to be multiple other weapons besides the scythe, obviously. And I don't know if we get to choose the color or we're just gonna have to work with whatever color we're given, but she basically shows us our fighting mechanics and basically our special moves and stuff like that, which is really cool. I can't wait to see how this thing works in game though. I've heard a lot about it and it's nice to see it in the game, but I can't wait to actually see and physically play with it, like if it's going to be like an actual class. And then we move on to the last little bit of the tour, which is like this haunted manor, which is very red and gloomy. I'm not gonna lie, it looks a little spooky and scary. There's obviously like a vampire manor here or something like that. I don't know in what section of this is going to be here. I don't know what's going to be in the actual place, but I think it's like supposed to be like a hotel. Maybe it's giving kind of hotel just from like looking at the interior and everything, but it definitely gives like goth, spooky and ooky and all the vibes like that. Or it's like some sort of library, I'm not exactly sure, but there is a lot being shown in this video that you guys will have to definitely check out for yourselves if you're interested. I'll leave it in the description box below so you guys can check out MonsterVerze. So obviously, like I said, my expectations are at a neutral for right now. I don't want to have too much expectations for this game. I want to be pleasantly surprised just by seeing the trailer. It's actually getting me hyped and excited, so that's a good thing. But I want to actually see what the game is all about first and foremost, to see if it's something that I want to play long term or if it's my vibe or whatever like that. I know a lot of people have already talked about how it may be similar to MonsterVerze. Like, if you don't remember, MonsterVerze was this game on Roblox that had a hype week or hype month and basically fell off after that. And I haven't heard of it since. I haven't heard anybody really talking about MonsterVerze. I don't know exactly the lore of what happened with that game, and people are comparing MonsterVerze to Astro Renaissance. And I'm just gonna say this right now. I want to give this game the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to be disappointed, but I don't want to have too much high expectations. But I do hope it is going to have like its hype week, obviously, with a lot of players being heavily invested, but I don't want it to fall off from there. Even from just seeing the trailer and the promo sets that we have been given throughout its development, it's giving a lot of players high hopes for this game, including me, and it's just something different to try as well. Now, I don't like how people are already kind of assuming its downfall based off of previous games that may have tried to one-up Royal High, or not even like compete with Royal High in that sense. But ultimately, if you're making a game that's similar to that specific niche, like if it's a dress-up game, you're competing with a lot of other games that also have like that dress-up mechanic, which is basically something that MonsterVerze has. Obviously, that's not the full part of the game, but it is part of it. And just like with Dress to Impress, Royal High, and MonsterVerze, they are equally roleplay games in the sense that you do dress up your character, male, female, whichever one you want, and sometimes you can roleplay with them if you want to. But all I'm gonna say is I do want this game to succeed. I do see potential for this game to thrive, and I'm hoping that will be the case even after the hype week or hype month is over with, but we will see. I definitely want to help promote the game as much as I possibly can by engaging with it and basically giving my thoughts and opinions. But I don't really have anything negative to say about MonsterVerze so far. Let me know down below your thoughts and opinions on MonsterVerze as well. I'd love to hear them. And I think that's going to be it. Let me just wrap up the video with just my final thoughts. So like I said, with first impressions, I'm pleasantly surprised with everything and how good and polished everything looks, even from just being shown in the gameplay trailer. I'm especially excited for the dress up feature. That's just me personally. I'm more of the person to play games that you get to really customize and dress up your character to how you like. And I like that there's different occult options that you can choose from and not just one specific occult, or you can do like a mix and match. I think that's something you can do as well. I love how inclusive it is with the dress up options and in the school itself. It's very, very different to Royal High and other games of that caliber. And I don't want to compare the two, but I feel like a lot of people are going to compare the two by default because they are very similar in the sense that they're both dress up games. That's all I can say about that. But I do want to give MonsterVerze its flowers and say that they did a really good job. Like, I know it's taken them months upon probably, I don't know how long it's been taking. It's probably been a year plus now since they've been developing MonsterVerze, and I've been hearing little bits and pieces of it, and I haven't really talked about it yet on my channel because I wasn't sure if it was going to be my aesthetic or not. But I definitely am interested and intrigued to see what it's all about. Obviously, when it officially released, I am going to do my first impressions on it and everything in depth. I'll probably have to write a couple of notes down so that way I don't forget anything. But overall, I'm really excited. I have to go figure out exactly the date. It's gonna come out somewhere around Halloween, which obviously is perfect. It fits the aesthetic of MonsterVerze, so that just fits. That just works for me. With that being said, obviously let me know down below what you guys think as well, and if you're gonna be trying MonsterVerze. And yeah, I will see you guys all in the next video, everyone. Bye.